Hi, everybody. My name is Ryan Cunningham. I'm the Vice President for Power Apps here at Microsoft and spend a lot of time thinking about Power Platform and low code more broadly. Really excited to open up this segment and share everything that's new in the release wave for Power Platform with you. But just to paint the backdrop really quickly, the world is changing very fast around low code. In fact, Gartner believes that 70% of new enterprise applications will be developed in low code in just the next 3 years. And that's a massive shift in our industry that we've got to be ready for. And it turns out that shift is already well underway. More than 97% of the Fortune 500 are already using Power Platform every single month, and hundreds of thousands of organizations beyond them as well. And we're at a point where now, 7.4 million people are building in low code every single month. That is a sizable chunk of all software development on the planet today. But what's interesting about this is it's coming from all different types of people and contributors. People that we might think of as citizen developers, folks with experience in their area of business, but not necessarily a computer science degree, all the way up to people working in IT departments and people with a professional coding background. Really all coming together on the same toolkit, on the same tool chain to collaborate more efficiently. And that toolkit is getting more diverse and capable every single month as well. We're thrilled to see the addition of Power Pages to this lineup, and we'll talk a lot more about that, Song You Will, in this segment, but really having now this end-to-end capability to modernize processes, to automate them, to build web and mobile applications, to bring in business intelligence, to automate virtual agents, all under one roof, incredibly transformational. So let's dive into the major themes of this Wave 2 release. This release for Power Apps is really focused on a couple of big shifts that we're seeing in the market right now. One is bringing a lot of data together. How do we make it really easy to connect to those existing systems and even easier than ever before to build on top of Microsoft Dataverse? And then how do we do that collaboratively? How do we enable the fusion teams of citizen and professional developers to collaborate more effectively together in product? And how we then extend that collaboration to end users, working on business processes in teams and throughout the rest of Microsoft 365. And then ultimately, how we do this in the context not just of one application at a time, but really managing and governing hundreds or thousands of applications across an organization at scale. And we're really excited about what's going generally available in this release wave with managed environments, and we'll see a bit of that in the demo as well. So transitioning here into the demos, a really cool organization we're going to focus on today, Degrees of Change. I'd love to share with you today some of the incredible ways they're using Power Platform and use that as a lens through which to highlight a lot of these great improvements coming to the Wave 2 release. And to get started, we'll look at some of the great new stuff coming to Power Apps in Wave 2, and Leon will take us through that demo. Leon, over to you.
College education has the power to transform lives. Over the past 20 years, Degrees of Change, a mission-driven nonprofit, has proven this to be true many times over. They have helped hundreds of diverse and largely first-generation students succeed in college by providing them with scholarships and leadership training. For Degrees of Change, every decision centers around helping students, including the technology that they use to run their program. Quoting their founder, Power Platform allows us to free up time to focus on what is most important, our students. Let's look at how Power Platform helps their team to build a solution for college applications. As I start my day as a maker, I open Outlook and see an email from a team member who tagged me in a comment in the app. This feels familiar, as it looks just like the comment notifications from Office documents. With Power Apps comments and mentions, I can collaborate with my team on what is needed in the app without having to exchange documents or setting up calls. And with just one click, I can get to the place where I need to take action. Looking at the comment, the first task is changing the format of the GPA field, coming from Dataverse based on its value. To make this happen, I can select the field and express what I want the format to be using natural language. Paint this label green when its value is more than 3.8 and yellow otherwise. With the power of AI, all formulas are automatically created for me, and with one more click, I can get them applied. AI makes Power Apps authoring more productive and fun, as I can focus on what is most important. In this case, putting my data into action. The final task is adding a new column that computes the score of an applicant. With Power Apps Studio, I can do this easily without leaving my application. I just need to find the Dataverse table and click Edit. This brings a data experience where I can create views over the data and add new columns. I'll go ahead and add a new column, which I'll call Total Rating. Since the column needed is a calculation, I'll use a formula column, which I can now define using PowerFX. This is great because I can use a language that I know and benefit from a great authoring experience. As I run the application, notice that the new column shows up in my active students view. There is something else that I'd like to show you. With just one click, we can automatically create a Power BI dashboard using the Dataverse data exposed in this view. Notice how the dashboard that we just created is using the column that we added only a few seconds ago. With Power Platform, it has never been easier to manage your data and to put it into action. As I am back editing the app, I notice that several team members are working on it at the same time as me. If needed, I can start a Teams chat with any of them or send them an email. I can also see where all my teammates are in the app, and they can see where I am too. I notice that a dashboard just got added by a pro dev in our team. I'll go ahead and review the changes. And since they look good, I'll leave a comment to let them know. Collaboration capabilities like commenting and co-authoring enable Fusion teams to work better together, both in real time or asynchronously. And our app is now ready to be used by evaluators. Evaluating participants requires a group of evaluators to meet and flip between a Teams meeting and the application that we just created. We can do way better than that. We can use cards, a new feature of Power Apps that lets you create small, task-specific apps that you can use in the Teams chat. Let's take a look. Here you can see a card in the meeting chat. Each participant sees their own scores and notes and can make last-minute updates that are reflected live in Dataverse. Cards make the meeting far more productive because key information and actions are presented to users when and where they need it. Building a card is as easy as building any experience with our low-code designers. Let me show you. All the goodness that you know and love, like PowerFX, connection to Dataverse, and visual editing, is there for you to create awesome cards. Adding elements to this card is as easy as drag and drop, as you can see how I am doing to add this button right now. In the past few minutes, I've shown you how easy it is to build applications. If you are an IT admin and are wondering how to keep things under control and meet your enterprise policies, we have a great solution for you. Managed environments provide admins with more visibility and more control with less effort. Admins can enable and control aspects like sharing limits, built-in security validations and policies, among many other things with just a few clicks. They can also stay informed of what is going on in their environment with weekly digest emails. With managed environments, we are making it a lot easier to find and implement the controls available to admins and to always be informed. You just saw how easy and productive it was for a small Fusion team in a non-profit organization to build a modern, data-intensive, high-quality, and collaborative cloud application. The team at Degrees of Change generated more impact with less effort using the innovations in the Power Platform that are available to you today.
That was awesome. Thank you, Leon. It was so cool to see, all these different aspects of improvement coming together under one roof. How the Dataverse experiences are becoming increasingly more accessible and easy to use. They feel like rows and columns right in line. The power of PowerFX right in there. The ability to collaborate in real time with other makers. The ability to push that into a collaborative context for end users with things like Power Apps cards. And then ultimately ultimately the ability to manage at scale, really exciting to see end to end. But that's not all. Degrees of Change are using far more than just Power Apps. And so as we go forward, we'll see later in the segment, how they're using Power Pages and Power BI as well. But to set that up for us and to talk about Power Pages more broadly, we're going to hand it over to Sangya Singh. Sangya, over to you.
Hello, I'm Sangya Singh, Vice President of Power Pages at Microsoft. As some of you might know, Power Pages public previewed early this year in May at the Build conference. And this year at the Ignite conference, we announced Power Pages' general availability. Power Pages is the newest addition to the platform. It's a connectivity platform that allows organizations to build and launch enterprise-grade external self-service websites to share business data, collaborate, and automate business processes with their customers, communities, and partners, all at scale and all securely. We're excited to have an opportunity today to deep dive into Power Pages. We are already seeing great customer momentum with Power Pages' platform worldwide with strong year-over-year growth. The momentum is across industries, from state and local governments, retail and manufacturing, financial service sectors, educational institutions, and not-for-profit organizations. And the types of websites we are seeing being created by these organizations are around government-to-citizen services, application processing services, registration services, course registration, product warranty registration, and partner portals to share key business data securely. Now, these solutions are built by true Fusion team members across TechFluency. It consists of front-end, full-stack website developers to IT pros and people with expertise in business strategy and design, all coming together providing unique opportunity for value creation. Now, whether you're no-code, low-code, or code-first developer, Power Pages empowers you to build a scalable, business-centric website together. With the 2022 Release Wave 2 and GA, we are bringing exciting new updates to Power Pages, specifically around how you create a multi-step form processing, direct integration from Design Studio to Visual Studio Code for web, new business solution templates, big capabilities to increase their security posture and governance of Power Pages sites. But first, let's take a look at how one of our customers, Degrees of Change, is leveraging Power Pages. In the following demo, you're going to see how they leveraged Power Pages to create an intuitive application processing site for students to qualify, apply, and monitor the applications for the SEED internship program. Now let's take a look at how that comes to life.
The Degrees of Change team is a combination of pros and citizen developers collaborating face-to-face and virtually to support students. To help process scholarship applications, they utilize Power Pages to bring together and organize incoming student applications with minimal IT support. The Power Pages homepage is where they can learn about all the sites their Fusion teams are collaborating on. To edit the application site, they launched the Power Pages Maker Studio, which is made up of 4 distinct workspaces: Pages, Styling, Data, and Setup. In the Pages workspace, they learn about the pages that make up their site on the left. On the right is the WYSIWYG editor to build pages with no-code widgets like text and image, to more advanced components like multi-step form, a new feature that dramatically simplifies the complexity of creating a long and complicated application process. To demonstrate, they create a new page named Application and add a pre-built multi-step form based on the source data table. This application will provide students a step-by-step guided experience as they fill out a scholarship application, while automatically saving their progress, which allows them to proceed at their own pace. With the application page complete, they enable some validations to ensure that application data entered meets their format criteria. By clicking on Edit Code, the studio launches the site source code in the Visual Studio for Web. Here, they add JavaScript validations to the page. After saving, they navigate back to the Design Studio to sync their changes so the script runs as the application form is loaded, completing a simple round trip between Studio and VS Code for Web. Moving to the data workspace, they see where their business data is modeled using a simple table designer. Here, they can learn about the views and forms that were used in the multi-step application form. Next, they move to the styling workspace where they choose from preset themes to apply color and font palettes site-wide. Themes automatically apply to any of the templates selected from the newly expanded Templates Hub. Once branding and accessibility guidelines are met, they preview an adaptive site on both desktop and mobile. And finally, they review the best practices go live checklist in the setup workspace. Here, they see the content delivery network has been set up to improve site performance. Next, they enable the web application firewall for increased security in the Power Platform Admin Center. With the checklist complete, they navigate to site visibility and mark it as public, making it accessible for any potential students to apply for scholarships. Being able to deploy the solution without unnecessary IT support means a fast track to go live and seamless updates at any time. This was a major success story for Degrees of Change.
Thank you, Shruti. Now, with the new Seed internship site launch, Degrees of Change have received and processed 250 completed applications, which resulted in 35 internships just this past summer. Now, with new capabilities, the ambition is to grow the program 6 times in the next 3 years, extend the site to include more functionality around professional development, task checklist, and staff and peer engagement tools. So let's just recap this release. First, you saw how the No-Code Design Studio now makes building a multi-step application form process with attachment upload very simple without writing a single line of code. Next, you saw a set of templates in the Templates Hub, 16 of them high value, cross-industry, with different website patterns from FAQ to application processing to registration scheduling, plus added support for existing Dynamics 365 templates. Third, you saw developers can easily open Visual Studio Code for Web from the Design Studio and add their business logic. All the changes are nicely synced in the studio for the team to preview the end result. We saw turnkey integration with Azure Web Application Firewall that can strengthen the security posture, increase your site responsiveness with integration to Content Delivery Network, and a thorough go-live checklist with configuration recommendations before you launch. And Power Pages Learn Hub is the place where you get updated learning content for different stages of building, configuring, and launching the site. All of this along with deep integration with Microsoft Dataverse, Power Automate, that enables true end-to-end solutions rapidly for great business outcomes. Finally, we've made changes to the licensing model, a much more simplified licensing model that shifts focus to monthly authenticated and monthly anonymous users per website. It's going to be available both in prepaid capacity-based packages as well as pay-as-you-go meters. Power Pages' mission is to be the most reliable, the most secure digital connectivity platform for you to leverage so you can better connect and serve your customers, communities, and partners. We look forward to seeing how you will leverage Power Pages. Thank you for your ongoing support and feedback.
Hi, I'm Kim Manis, Director of Product Management for Power BI. Power BI has been on a journey to empower every individual, every team, and every organization to drive a data culture. We've been incredibly successful on this journey so far. More than 300,000 organizations and nearly every Fortune 500 company relies on Power BI to understand data. And we've built a thriving community of over 2 million active community members. We're continuing on this journey in this upcoming semester. With Power BI, we make it simple to connect any data, visualize that data in Office experiences that are familiar to every user, deliver data and insights that are always one click away where your organization works, and finally, ensure that your data solutions are trusted and secure at every scale. You'll see improvements across all of these areas in the coming months. To give you a preview of these, let's take a look at how an organization like Degrees of Change can use Power BI to drive a data culture. I'll hand it over to Patrick to give a demo.
Thanks, Kim. Power BI enables organizations like Degrees of Change to connect to any data, find insights and build beautiful interactive reports, share their data and insights so it's always one click away everywhere their users work, and deliver trusted solutions at any scale. Today we're going to take a look at some of these exciting new capabilities across all of these areas. First, I want to show you how we're making it even easier and faster to build beautiful reports using Power BI. And right away you can see new on-object experiences for selecting data and configuring visuals. Not only does it make it faster to select data, but now Power BI is automatically choosing the best visual on the data I've selected. In this case, it switched from a table to a bar chart. I can also configure formatting using new contextual menus. In this case, let's remove the title and add data labels. But we're making it even easier. Now I can simply click on the chart elements I want to format and start making changes. We're making formatting just like you'd expect from any tool in Office. Power BI has a ton of visual configuration options, and we're investing to make it as simple as possible to find and apply these options so anyone can build beautiful data visualizations configured exactly the way they want. Now I want to show you how we're making it even easier to share and collaborate with Power BI reports. First, here's a quick glimpse of how we're evolving the backstage area of Power BI. Importantly, you'll notice the integration with OneDrive and SharePoint. Again, we're making experiences just like every other Office tool so anyone familiar with Office can get work done quickly. And this includes the ability not just to save files to OneDrive, but also to just click and open Power BI reports directly from OneDrive as well. Now I can view and interact with Power BI reports right in OneDrive. Just by clicking on the PBIX file, it opens and is fully interactive. I can cross-highlight charts, navigate between pages, everything I'm familiar with in Power BI. But since this is just a file in OneDrive, all of the sharing, permissions, search, and general file management capabilities of OneDrive and SharePoint are the same as other Office files. This makes it way easier for users familiar with working in Office to succeed creating and sharing reports. And let's talk about sharing and discovering reports. Power BI has had amazing success helping organizations drive more usage of data and insights through our integration in Teams. In the coming semester, we're making this integration even better with richer tab experiences and better multitasking support in Teams. But we're also unlocking new contextual experiences in Outlook as well. Let's say I want to include a specific chart in an email to a colleague. Now, with the Power BI app available directly in Outlook, I can find exactly what I'm looking for right here. More importantly, we're adding more options to copy or link to visuals just by right-clicking on a visual. Here, I'm grabbing a link to the visual so I can paste it into my email. For now, this adds a rich adaptive card to the email, but we'll be evolving this scenario to make it this simple to include charts directly in email as well. And of course, recipients can still click to open and go directly to the visual I shared, again, right in the context of Outlook. But I can use these links in more places as well, such as our integration in PowerPoint. The Power BI add-in for PowerPoint lets you include fully interactive reports directly in your presentations. Similarly to our integration in Teams and Outlook, we have tons of improvements planned for our PowerPoint integration. For organizations like Degrees of Change, this is a great way to deliver data and insights to stakeholders and quickly and easily turn basic presentations into interactive data stories. Now that we've talked about creating and sharing reports inside of an organization, I want to show some new capabilities for sharing data with external audiences as well. Let's say Degrees of Change wants to share not only the report we've been looking at, but also the data used by the report with specific external audiences and enable them to reuse that data. Now with cross-tenant sharing and B2B discoverability, when this data is shared, it'll appear right inside of these external users' Power BI experiences. So let me share with an external user. I'm going to switch over to Power BI Desktop, logged in as that external user, so we can see what the experience is like for the user receiving the data. Now, when I go to the Data Hub inside of Power BI Desktop, I can go to the External Data tab and see all the data from other organizations that's been shared with me. I can connect to this data, build reports, and share it within my organization without having to log into a different tenant. So I'm going to connect to the data that we just saw shared. I'm going to select the tables I want to use. And now I'm using the same familiar authoring experience we saw earlier, but with data shared from the external tenant. Similarly, when I go to the Power BI service, all the external content shared with me shows up here as well. This is a huge improvement for organizations who commonly work with and need to share data with external users. Finally, I want to show you our new automated migration tool from Azure Analysis Services to Power BI Premium. This tool is now in preview, and it helps you simplify and accelerate migrating content into Power BI Premium. We've worked hard to bring the powerful Azure Analysis Services enterprise modeling capabilities into Power BI Premium over the past few years, and now Power BI Premium functionality goes far beyond the comparable functionality in Azure Analysis Services or SQL Server Analysis Services. As you can see, With just a handful of clicks, you can easily unlock new capabilities for your data by migrating into Power BI Premium. It's a great capability that everyone should take advantage of. On behalf of Kim and myself, thank you for joining us. We're super excited for you to try all the new functionality we showed today coming in this upcoming semester. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Steven Siciliano, Vice President of Power Automate at Microsoft. I'm pleased to share some exciting innovations for Power Automate, and I'm also excited to share a set of transformative and new capabilities for Power Virtual Agents. 60% of all jobs have at least 30% of automatable activities, and almost half of work activities have the potential to be automated using current technology. And there's need in automating these boring, manual, repetitive tasks like collecting and processing data. Power Automate is investing in several areas as a part of the Microsoft Power Platform 2022 Release Wave 2. These investments are around 4 main themes. Theme 1, automation for everyone, exactly where you need it. Today, the way that many people discover Power Automate is through our integrations in other products like Windows 11, SharePoint, or Microsoft Teams. During this release wave, we're making it easier to get started with automation through any application that you use in Windows or Microsoft 365. Theme 2, Hyperscale Cloud RPA. From our biggest enterprise customers to small and medium organizations, everyone is increasing the scale of their RPA deployments. We'll make it easier to roll out RPA at scale with features to make it easier to have Microsoft host your infrastructure on your behalf. Theme 3, automation that lets you sleep at night. As automation becomes a key fuel for digital transformation, we continue to deliver customer quality, end-to-end experiences, and ultimately, everything about the platform needs to just work. All features that are more reliable so you can set it and forget it. Theme 4, anyone can get started. We're making it easier for anyone to get started with new enhancements that shorten the time to create rich automations so you can focus on what matters more quickly. Power Virtual Agents evolution as part of the Microsoft Power Platform 2022 Release Wave 2 focuses on 4 major themes as well. Theme 1, unified bot building. Last year, we enabled bot builders to use Azure Bot Framework Composer and Power Virtual Agents together to build bots. So that's why I'm excited to announce a new bot building approach, which combines the advanced functionality of Bot Framework Composer with the ease of use and end-to-end bot building experience of Power Virtual Agents. Theme 2, Fusion Teams and Collaboration. As Power Virtual Agents is part of the Microsoft Power Platform suite, we are continuing to invest in making collaboration across Fusion Teams easier with capabilities like multi-authoring, Office-like commenting, and more, furthering the vision of Power Virtual Agents as a collaborative bot building tool for teams. Theme 3, advanced authoring. Our third area of focus is adding rich and powerful authoring capabilities, from developer-focused features for complex dialogue management to low-code experiences, such as engaging multimedia responses. Theme 4, multimodality with speech authoring. I'm excited to announce that authors can create multi-channel dialogues to handle speech scenarios side by side with messaging, meaning you can truly build once and use anywhere. We can see some of these capabilities in action through the lens of one of our customers, Rabobank. Rabobank is a multinational banking institution headquartered in the Netherlands, and their mission is growing a better world together. And they recognize that digital transformation is critical. The key to realizing this vision is Rabobank's vision of conversational banking that is enabled using Microsoft technologies like Power Automate and Power Virtual Agents. It's also critical for them to consider how they can enable meaningful interactions anywhere, at any time, in a secure, personal, and seamless way. Let's hear more on Rabobank with a great demo from Ashwini and Kendra.
Thanks, Stephen. Today, I'll play the role of someone at customers like Rabobank that are using the Power Platform to transform their internal processes, in this case, the procure-to-pay process. In this process, various documents and accounting entries are created to validate how to obtain and pay for goods and services. Let's look at how to automate the entire procure-to-pay process with Power Automate. Using the new version of Process Advisor that now integrates Mineit, a process mining leader acquired by Microsoft, I can easily create a procure-to-pay process with templates that connect to an SAP instance. With templates, Process Advisor handles all the transformation logic for me. Once the process is created, I can use the different views to find inefficiencies. Here I can see that the approval activity is taking too long to complete and causes a lot of rework as well. I can create a custom KPI to capture approval duration and create a report in Power BI to track the KPI while I make improvements to the process. Using Power Automate's new natural language capabilities, it's now easier than ever to create automation. I can just describe what I want to automate, and Power Automate will build the flow for me. Let's type in. For every purchase order file that is added to SharePoint, start an approval process. The flow is already built for me. It's like magic. Power Automate guides me through an easy process to validate my connections, verify which SharePoint folder I want to connect to, and confirm who will be validating the approval process. My flow is ready to go. Now my manager will receive an approval request on Teams every time a purchase order is generated, making the process run efficiently. Once my order is approved, I'll need to create a purchase order in SAP. Instead of doing this manually, I can automate the process using the new SAP connector. I browse to the new connector, specify which fields I want to use to generate the purchase order, and the data will be entered automatically. Using an application I've built with the new Power Apps templates for SAP, I can verify that my entry was processed successfully. Once partners have received purchase orders, they'll send invoices for their services. This is another step in the process that we can automate using AI Builder to extract the information coming from invoices. I can custom train a document processing model to understand complex invoices coming from partners, including documents that have tables spanning multiple pages. Once my model is complete, I can ensure that it will run efficiently, even if partners change their layout using AI Builder's new feedback loop. Documents that are processed with low confidence score are stored in a feedback loop that can be easily accessed for retraining. Once those documents are added back to the model's training set, the model will be updated to understand these new formats, ensuring my invoices are extracted and approved accurately. After extracting the invoice from the invoice document, the next step is to store it in the financial system that still relies on some legacy software components. This can be achieved through desktop automation. With hosted RPA bots, organizations like Rabobank can create hosted machines based on their own custom virtual machine images. This includes their own custom software and configurations. These machines are fully hosted and managed by Power Automate to run desktop automations at scale. It's easy to set up and get as many hosted machines as needed to address my workload and automatically react to any spike in demand, for example, right before the end of the fiscal year. And with the new automation kit, I can easily prioritize backlog of automation ideas and visualize my total savings and increased efficiency. Now I'm going to hand it over to Kendra, who is going to showcase how Rabobank are using Power Virtual Agents.
Thanks, Ashwini. Rabobank is already using Power Virtual Agents to drive their virtual assistant and improve customer experiences on their website. As they look to iterate on the bot in the future, they're excited about the possibilities available with the new Unified Authoring Canvas, which brings together the extensibility and power of the Bot Framework Composer and the intuitive, seamless experience that Power Virtual Agents is known for. We are so excited to announce this brand new canvas, built from the ground up, will be available in public preview November 10th. As a leader in the space of supporting Fusion teams, Power Virtual Agents can now be used by any member of the organization, from low-code citizen makers and subject matter experts to pro developers alike. In order to build more natural conversations and increase engagement, customers like Rabobank can now model more flexible conversations using the enhanced question node. Authors have more control over things like validation rules and retry behavior when a user provides an invalid response, including the number of times to retry, the reprompt message to use, and what should happen if the user gets stuck, such as escalating to a live agent. To integrate with backend systems, bot makers can still take advantage of the deep integration with Power Automate with more than 800 connectors available. Adding flows directly to the canvas takes just a few clicks, and coming soon, we will streamline data access further with support for parsing complex JSON results from Power Automate into the variables, which can be used later in the topic. Variables and data can now be transformed and manipulated using the built-in canvas-wide integration with Power Platform's low-code programming language, PowerFX, which empowers any bot author to create powerful variable expressions with familiar Excel-like formulas. The simple, intuitive nature of PowerFX makes common programming tasks easy for both non-technical makers and developers. Users can create richer responses, resulting in more compelling and delightful conversations with images, videos, and quick replies. And also adaptive cards, which are a platform-agnostic snippet of UI. These cards can be included just by pasting the JSON from the designer straight into the canvas, with a preview of the card immediately available. Professional developers can now also use the code editor to view and edit the code behind a topic, and any user can now use this feature to share a single node or a whole topic with other bots or team members, making collaboration across the team even easier. These are just some of the new features we're excited to announce as a part of our public preview. We encourage you to sign up today and try it for yourself.
Thanks, Ashwini and Kendra. 2022 Release Wave 2 for Power Automate has significant improvements across the board for end-to-end automation needs across organizations. From new enhancements in process mining, providing more visibility into how work is happening, to intelligent document support for processing even more complex documents. Or from using AI to help create flows to support new experiences on complex systems like SAP. And the ability to quickly scale RPA deployments to a brand new automation kit that helps us organize, report, and understand the overall return on investment for our automation opportunities. This wave will help you drive more innovation and higher productivity. And for Power Virtual Agents, we have redesigned and rebuilt the authoring canvas from the ground up with powerful new capabilities for authoring bots. We are continuing to make investments to make collaboration across Fusion teams easier. And we are announcing a host of powerful, advanced conversational capabilities for makers, as well as providing builders the option to design the bot specifically for speech. As you've seen through customers like Degrees of Change and Rabobank, the Power Platform can empower every user in every organization to build impactful solutions. And the best part is that Power Platform is better when used together. So be sure to try out some of the incredible new capabilities we shared today. To get started, you can go to powerplatform.com. We'd love to see you join our community and connect with millions of other low-code developers around the world. See you there.